So, ladies and gentlemen, this Karmelo Anthony case just came back and guilty, as many already expected. If you've been following along with this case and paying attention to the facts of the case and what the defense team presented, what the prosecution presented, all roads were leading to a guilty verdict if you were able to look at this objectively. Nonetheless, when you get a case like this, you get people who decide that they made their mind up already and don't really care about the facts. You know, you're going to get racial tensions that boil over. That's exactly what happened with this one following the verdict. And so we're going to get into all of that. But first, let's start right here.
We're following breaking news out of Texas and the murder trial of a Texas teen. 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony has been found guilty of murder in the death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Metcalf was fatally stabbed at a high school track meet, as you may recall, last year. NBC's Ryan Chandler is outside the courthouse in McKinney, Texas. We're also joined by NBC News legal analyst Misty Maris. Ryan, I'll go to you. The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. Walk us through this verdict. What was the reaction inside and outside the courtroom?
Well, I'll tell you, as soon as news of the guilty verdict reached the crowd that has been growing here since Thursday, tensions boiled over. We heard visceral tears and angry confrontations break out in this crowd. The police presence seeming to triple here as they try to keep the peace. Since Thursday, there have been supporters of both the Metcalf and the Anthony families here. Now the Anthony family is protesting, as they have since the beginning, raising concerns for a fair trial, but certainly a lot of bitter comfort for the Metcalf family. Our eyes inside the courtroom said that there were tears bursting out as soon as the verdict was read out from both sides. No reaction visible from Karmelo Anthony as he embraced his lawyer. We are now still awaiting some major news from inside the courtroom as well. They will now move on to the sentencing phase. Anthony found guilty of first-degree murder, but not capital murder. So he is not eligible for life without parole. His maximum sentence, 99 years, potentially.
Misty, let me turn to you. 4 days of testimony, less than 3 hours of deliberations. Are you at all surprised at how quickly this all happened?
I was, Kate, because this is a complicated case. Even though you had, 4 days of testimony, you had a lot of witnesses, you had a video, but the video wasn't necessarily dispositive, could not see it. So the jury had a lot to go through. You also had murder for them to determine whether or not there was a conviction on murder, which there was, manslaughter and the self-defense element of it. So this was a very, very quick verdict.
Yeah, so this was a case about self-defense in the state of Texas, proving that Karmelo, that he had no choice, that his life was in imminent danger. And unfortunately, the defense team really didn't do anything to prove that at all, basically. The prosecution presented witness after witness after witness after witness, basically refuting everything that Karmelo Anthony and his defense team wanted everyone to believe, that somehow this was an attack, that he was getting jumped, that it was a situation where he had to fend for his life. And mostly students who were there at this track meet came up and basically said, no, that's not really how it happened. That's not how it went down. Even one of the defense team's witnesses kind of end up backtracking and really not working in favor of Karmelo and his team. And so pretty much overall, with the facts of the case, including the video footage, even though it may have not been the best, the defense team did not do a good job at all of presenting any information, any facts, any proof that, yeah, he was justified as using that level of force against Austin Metcalf. And it's because there was no evidence that could prove that. As much as Karmelo Anthony supporters wanted everyone to believe, it just wasn't there.
I just got some notes from our local reporter who is inside the courtroom. So when that guilty verdict was read, I'm told that Karmelo Anthony was crying. He was shaking. His defense attorney kept his arm around his shoulders the entire time. And also I'm told that Austin Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter, this was the first time he was inside the courtroom when that guilty verdict was read. I'm told it was really emotional from both sides after that murder verdict. And as for what's next, Will, now it's the sentencing phase. He is charged with murder, so he could face up to life in prison. The same exact juror, they're the ones who decide how long he remains behind bars. And that's what this sentencing phase sentencing phase is. That reporter inside the courtroom tells me that Karmelo Anthony's mother, she's already taken the stand. This is a direct quote. She said, quote, "He is my oldest, my firstborn, my baby. I love him very much." I'm told that she had mascara running down her face and asked the jury, quote, "Please have mercy on my son." And then the prosecutor sort of cross-examined her and said, "Isn't it true you could still have a relationship with your son while he's behind bars?" So this is sort of the next phase right now. The jury's going to decide how long he is behind bars for, and they're going to call some character witnesses, including his mom that you just heard from. And I'll step out of the way. I mean, outside the courtroom, we've been expecting this, Will, but about 100 Karmelo Anthony protesters erupted out here. At least one person was detained after they read that guilty verdict. And as you can see, it is all hands on deck when it comes to the sheriff's office. They prepared for this. There's been barriers out here and really tight security the last few days.
And so, of course, when you have a case like this and you have the racial element involved, you're going to have people who feel like they don't really care about the facts. It doesn't matter how much proof, how much evidence. It doesn't even matter the fact that Karmelo couldn't even get on the stand and defend himself, ladies and gentlemen. He couldn't even take the stand and present his case and say, this is why I was defending myself. This is the danger I felt I was in that was so imminent. The defense didn't even trust him or believe that he would be able to do that much. But you got people who decide before, any of the facts even come out, and even obviously once all the facts do come out, that no, this is about race. This is about, black people not being able to get a fair shot, and, they're always being held back by the white man, and all the typical victimhood, talking points that they want to make sure they put out there. And so now you get stuff like this going down outside of the courthouse. Take a look.
Karmelo! Say his name! Karmelo! Say his name! Karmelo! When do we want justice? When do we want it? Now!
The judge as well in this case said it was not a case about race, but you cannot deny that just the facts of the case and what we've seen play out since then and what we're happening now is because the defendant is black, the victim is white, and that's the bottom line. Mm-hmm. But again, this is what I alluded to when I said this has brought out what's bubbling right beneath the surface.
Why do we have to care anymore? Why are we even here? To be honest, why are we here? What are we here for? Because if we take up for ourselves, we go to jail. If we don't, we die. So it's a catch-22 in this situation. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for words. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
To protect black people. Anytime a white man or a white child can go and put their hands aggressively on anybody and something like this occur, it's self-defense. It's self-defense. You put your hand on me and see how I respond. Beat your motherfucking ass.
What will the Anthony family do?
What will the Anthony family? What will the people that's standing behind the Anthony family do? That's the question you should ask. We're going to stand behind them and we're going to fight. That's what's going to happen.
What is your relationship with your family?
I have no relationship. We're brothers. We're black. We're brothers and sisters. We're blacks. We're the indigenous people of this earth.
Listen, miss me with all that. This is the problem with black culture. Miss me with all of that. When did 2 high school boys getting into an altercation with each other have to mean that one had to get killed? What are we even talking about? Let's ignore all the facts. Basically, that's what they want to do. Let's ignore all the evidence. Let's ignore the fact that he was carrying a knife with him and then he didn't want to get up and leave. Let's ignore all of that. Oh no, he's black and I'm black, and so only that matters. These were 2 high school boys who simply could have, worst come to worst, they could have gotten into a fist fight. How many times have you been into a fist fight when you were in high school? Doesn't mean it's supposed to lead to your death. But black culture, the part of black culture that we don't want to take accountability for, look at these inner cities. This is not new. We want to pretend it's new in black culture, but it's not. young black men deciding to make emotionally driven decisions with a weapon that alters their life forever is a commonality, unfortunately, in black culture. It's just because in this situation, the skin colors didn't match that now somehow it should be justified that he did it. You get people like that who want to justify a young black boy making a bad decision in his life. When it goes on all the time in places like Chicago, New York City, parts of Miami, Dade County, Baltimore, Newark, New Jersey. I can go on and on and on. Young black boys, because of black culture and the inability to actually want to, hold our young men accountable, this is the results we get.
Any of these crackers, any of these white, Austin's family. All right, what about Austin's family? You think Austin's family would have did the same for you if she was on the other foot? I'm sorry, what? Well, Austin's family did the same thing when he advocated for you, just like you doing there. What makes you think and gives you hope? What gives you hope that they would do that for you?
It's not about me. I'm not dead right now. It is a kid that is dead, though, and he didn't deserve to lose his life.
We not at. So listen, brother.
So you advocating for them for? They don't like you. They don't give a fuck about you. These motherfucking white people. These white people don't give a fuck about you. You a fucking coon.
My son don't say white people.
Well, see, let us see what they say. You keep holding it up because you pussy. I'm wrong.
All right, listen. You see all these white. You think all these white people is here because it's not a racial
about white and black.
But listen, why these other, with the people that you standing up here with that's in support of that, it is white and black for them though.
No, it's black.
You just think
black people over here too.
Man, okay, it's some other confused ass niggas up here as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But listen. My point is this, bro. Do you think these same people, you think they would have came and advocated for you? But why do you have hope that in this country, since they brought us over here? Let me.
This is what it's about. In high school, you've been in high school before, right? You've seen young boys slap box in the bathroom, play around on the football field. You may even get into a fight in the locker room, right? That happens. This happened to me a couple times. You see how big I am. I'm not always been like this. I was skinny as fuck.
What school you went to?
I have to fight. I'm not telling you that. I have to fight.
Did you go to school in Texas? Did you go to a Pyramid Right Institution?
No.
Okay then, so you had a whole different experience. You didn't have to deal with racism or people. So now you have a different experience. But you got a whole.
You a motherfucking coon, though.
Yeah, he is a coon as fuck. He's coon as fuck. Because no, you got a whole different served here. You can have to deal with racism.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it right here. These people are indoctrinated into a mentality of racial loyalty above all else, which ends up putting you in a very bad and dangerous place because you're willing to ignore facts, you're willing to ignore logic, you're willing to ignore truth. But I'll tell you this much, I guarantee you this much. If it was their son, if it was their child, they'd be screaming, lock him up, throw him underneath the jail. How you gonna kill my baby? Lock him up. I guarantee it. But no, we can't talk about that. Black boy kill another black boy, no problem, lock him up, throw away the key. He did it, guilty. Oh, white boy is racism. Oh, racist. The system's racist. Which one is it? We want to ignore the facts, ignore the laws, ignore all logic when it's convenient. That's not the way it works. And it's the reason why black culture in general is in the condition it is right now, because that's not how life works. But those are my thoughts on the update. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your comment down below. I appreciate you guys chiming in. Don't forget, you enjoyed the content, smash that thumbs up. For more, subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.